Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A rollover crash in front of a Rockford High School sends 2 people to the hospital. Police are looking into what led up to the collision. The Better Business Bureau warns veterans to beware of con artists, the scams vets should be on the lookout for. Plus, local veterans turn out for funeral services for a soldier killed during the Korean War. The remains of the Army corporal laid to rest at Belvidere Cemetery. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy. Eric Wilson is off tonight. 3 teens are arrested after leading police on a high-speed chase in Freeport. Wednesday night, police tried to stop a car that was reported stolen from Chicago. That's when the driver sped off. The chase went through Freeport on US 20, reaching speeds faster than 100 miles per hour. The vehicle finally stopped on Conger Road in Winnebago County. That's when 5 people jumped out of the vehicle and ran. A 16-year-old boy was reportedly found with a backpack with 4 guns inside, including a loaded AR-15 rifle. He and 2 others were arrested. Anthony Ramsey Jr. and Brian Robinson Jr. are charged with resisting and criminal trespass. Ramsey also faces weapons charges. A morning crash blocks traffic near a Rockford High School. Crews were called to Auburn Street and North Pierpont Avenue around 11. That's right in front of Auburn High School. 2 vehicles were involved. A minivan had severe front-end damage, and an SUV rolled over during the collision. Auburn Street was limited to 1 lane of traffic while first responders were on scene. We're told 2 people were taken to the hospital. No word on the severity of their injuries. Veterans Day is tomorrow, and a local organization is warning vets about scams. Amory Wilder spoke to the Better Business Bureau about what to look out for. And Amory, is this something that happens often?
Yes, Mimi. According to the BBB, con artists will target many of the nation's more than 19 million vets on Veterans Day to steal their identity and money.
The scams themselves are pretty much the same. They're the phishing scams, imposter scams, deception scams.
While Veterans Day is a moment to thank those who served our country, scammers use the day to their advantage. Dennis Horton with the Better Business Bureau says there's a couple of tricks to look out for.
The difference is that the scammers are now, because it's Veterans Day, put a veterans-oriented twist on it. That we're here to help you as a veteran. You know, our way of saying thank you for your service, when in fact they're after 2 things: their information and their money.
These scams can be in the form of email, phone call, or even a text message. Horton advises veterans to be wary of anyone soliciting money that way. He also says do not react immediately.
One thing that scammers and scams have in common is there's always a sense of urgency that is being placed there. Any charity that needs the money today will need the money tomorrow, and a legitimate charity will wait.
Horton adds, like all government agencies, your local VA will never call to request personal information, such as your social security number.
One of the things that we find most often is that the scammers will use a very similar sounding name. Instead of it being VFW, it will be War Veterans of Foreign Wars instead of the Veterans of Foreign Wars. Sounds the same, and if you're not paying attention, you may think, oh, this is legitimate.
If you are interested in helping charitable organizations that benefit veterans, check them out first by going on bbbsgive.org. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Amory. 2 local organizations partnered to host a Veterans Day program. It was to honor and thank all who've served in the military. Olson Funeral and Cremation Services hosted the event at Loves Park City Hall. They partnered with the Center for Learning and Retirement at Rock Valley College. The hour-long event included a certificate presentation to veterans and entertainment. Food was served, which included apple pie and ice cream. But the main goal of the event was to remember and honor all who've served our country.
Community events to honor veterans, I think, are extremely important. It brings them all together. It's great to see the fellowship and the brotherhood between them, and just to take time out of everyone's day and honor and thank them. It should be every day, but it's only once a year, so we want to make sure that it's extra special.
Olson Funeral and Cremation Services holds a Veterans Day program every year with a different partner each year. A Korean War POW returns home after being missing for 72 years. Today, William M. Zolik was finally laid to rest in Belvidere. Our Nicole Delgado was there and talked to Zolik's nephew. Now, what did he have to say?
Yeah, Mimi, it was an emotional day, and he tells me a week ago, Arthur Zolik found out that he had an uncle who was missing in action, and they were able to find his remains.
I am very fortunate to be here to help him. I mean, I was 3 years old when he passed away.
Arthur Zolik is the nephew of U.S. Army Corporal William Zolik. William had been missing for 72 years. He was just 18 years old when he was captured and died as a prisoner during the Korean War.
I never knew that was possible to identify somebody that long ago.
When Arthur found out his missing uncle was accounted for, he thought it was a joke or a scam.
And I even checked with Belvidere Armed Forces, and they said it's legal. And
today, U.S. Army Corporal William M. Zolik was properly laid to rest with full military honors. The funeral route visited 11 schools in the district who got lesson plans on who William was and the significance of his return.
As Americans, we're obligated to honor our war heroes, regardless of when they come back. And I think our other obligation is to keep our government looking for those remains and bringing those back.
Chairman of Rolling Thunder, Illinois, Wayne Kirkpatrick, tells me it is their honor to help the Zolik family, bringing home their loved one, William, who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Unfortunately, we don't have MIAs coming back every day, but if we can bring that closure to the families, it's a blessing to be able to do that.
Arthur says he is overcome with the amount of love and support in bringing his uncle home. He says never give up on finding your loved one.
Mind-blowing to me almost. I still don't know how to react. I am very thankful for everybody's help and putting this together and helping me.
Rolling Thunder tells me there are still 82,000 POV and MIAs who have still yet to be returned home. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Nicole. Tomorrow, we'll honor the sacrifice of those who served in the military with a special edition of Eyewitness News at 6. You'll hear stories from across the country and here at home. Veterans' Voices honoring those who serve starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow night, right here on WTVO 17. With winter right around the corner, the Rockford Rescue Mission needs your help. Coming up, the assistance the mission could use from the community.
And temperatures for us this afternoon made it into the 70s, a record high up to 76. No record high temperatures in the near term or even long term. In fact, we'll look at how long the kind of colder temperatures are set to stick around. Coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
It's now been 1 year since the temporary Hard Rock Casino opened. In the past 12 months, over 450,000 people have visited the casino. Hard Rock has generated almost $11 million in gaming taxes. Nearly $8 million of that goes to the state and more than $3 million goes to Rockford. $22 million has been awarded to jackpot winners. About 275 people now work for Hard Rock. That number will climb to over 1,000 when the permanent casino opens on the site of the former Clock Tower Resort. Ground was broken on the permanent project back in September.
It's going great. I mean, they're working really hard. I'm not a construction expert, but you know, I see a lot of activity on site, and I'm being told we're working 10, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week.
No set date has been announced for the new one's opening. Rockford Rescue Mission needs your help after a big increase in the number of people needing assistance. At this time last year, the mission was serving on average 345 meals a day and lodging about 109 people per night. Right now, they're serving over 500 meals a day and lodging over 200 people. Rockford Mission is asking for basic supplies they're running low on, including travel-size shampoo, travel-size soap, laundry detergent, and more. The director at the mission believes there are a few reasons they're seeing the increase in numbers.
We have inflation going up. It's pinching people's wallets, and some people that will just set them over the edge to not be able to go to the grocery store and get the food they need. We're also seeing, the cold weather set in, and we're also having, less affordable housing for individuals, and all of that is kind of working together to create this big need.
The rescue mission is open Monday through Saturday from 9 to 5. For more information on how you can help, check out the story at mystateline.com. Rockford saw a record high temperature today, but don't get used to it. When we come back, Candace shows us just how cold it's going to be getting by tomorrow morning. That's coming up next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, I hope you were able to get out and enjoy this afternoon because it was nice outside of the wind coming in from the south at about 30 miles per hour. Temperatures area wide warmed into the mid 70s. We made it up to 76 degrees today in Rockford, breaking our previous record high temperature for the 10th of November, which was 74, set back just 2 years ago in 2020. Actually, this was the end of a 3-day stretch of record warmth that we had that year. Also on this day 2 years ago, we had severe weather move across northern Illinois, had quite a bit of wind damage and strong winds and even a couple tornadoes south and southeast of us. No severe weather for us here this evening. Temperatures are still rather mild in the upper 60s and low 70s. At 70 in Freeport, 69 in Rockford, 65 currently in Rochelle, and you sit at 70 in Dixon. But just off to the west of us, we have a mighty strong cold front that'll come through later tonight, and with that comes a return of some very, very cold air. In fact, our coldest we felt so far this season, and that chill, something that is expected to stick around for quite some time, not only through the weekend into next week, and maybe even lasting through the week of Thanksgiving. Well, we had sunshine early on. Cloud cover was on the increase to the west of us, and now we are starting to see some showers and a few thunderstorms develop. Now, when bedded within this line of showers, there are a couple of isolated thunderstorms. At times, they have produced winds in excess of 40 miles per hour, so nothing severe, but wouldn't be surprised if maybe west of Freeport, as these showers and thunderstorms get a little closer to us, we get maybe a strong wind gust or two. As we get further into the evening and as these kind of continue to progress to the east, we lose that instability, so it's mostly then light rain that'll stay with us as that cold front comes through. This will last through the evening and into very early tomorrow. On the backside and cold end of that, you've got a lot of snow coming down across North Dakota and the upper Midwest. Cloud cover building in. We take a live look with our SkyTrack camera here out in Freeport at the Park Hills Golf Course. Temperatures are going to tumble. They'll stay somewhat warm here through about midnight, but once we get through midnight is when that cold front comes in, and that's really when we see those temperatures drop. We'll go from the 60s, 70s we're at right now down into the 30s tomorrow morning. It is going to feel, I cannot stress this enough, it is going to feel a lot different tomorrow morning than what we've experienced for today. So just be prepared for that. Wind chills tomorrow morning too are also going to be down in the 20s. So here we go. Within the next couple of hours, we've got a couple of showers, a few isolated thunderstorms moving in. This will stay more scattered, so no real heavy rainfall coming down. And the further southeast you get to Rockford, might not really end up seeing anything. Now on the back side of this, 3, 4, 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, there may be enough cold air to kind of transition some of that over to a little sleet. So you may hear some pings on the window early tomorrow, but nothing that'll be accumulating or cause any issues for the morning commute, just the cold. We'll see some sunshine return for the afternoon, but cloud cover comes back in. This will leave us with a flurry or two, actually a few scattered flurries as we head through Saturday afternoon, and those temperatures staying in the 30s. So big difference coming up for this weekend. 35 on Saturday, same thing on Sunday, but we do see a return of sunshine. Keeping an eye on Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday, another system passing to the south. Could have enough cold air kind of mixed in to either get a light mix or maybe even a couple of snow showers for some during that time.
Big change. All right, thanks, Candace. Reagan's in next with sports. The Bulls have a 3-day break before their next game, but one of their rookies might be gone longer.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
The Bulls are heading into their longest break of the season after losing to the Pelicans last night. Now with 3 days off, what better time than to make a roster move? The Bulls announced this morning that 2022 first-rounder Dalen Terry has been assigned to the Windy City Bulls, their G League affiliate. The youngster is out of the rotation right now, so this could be a good opportunity for him to get a little extra practice in. Terry has played in 6 games so far this season, but only managed to score in 1 of them. It's not likely that he stays in the G League for long, but we'll see what the move is come this weekend. There's more momentum moving into this week for the Bears offense than there has been in a while, but there are still gaps to fill, especially on the other side of the ball. So where do things stand defensively as the Bears prepare to host the Lions? Take a listen.
We just got to do a good job of have creative ways to create pressure. I think, winning on third down a lot of times is creating pressure on third down to get the quarterback uncomfortable. Ideally, you'd like to do that with your front 4, but sometimes, you have to mix it up, and you got to be able to change things where you send 5, 6 and different things and create different looks for the quarterback. So we just got to do a better job being creative that way, and we're looking to do that this week.
Earlier this week, it was announced that Raiders safety Jonathan Abram was claimed on waivers by the Packers. He was on the ground today in Green Bay and could play against the Cowboys come Sunday. Here's what Matt LaFleur told media about him today.
I just remember him being a really physical football player, and it's going to be great to get him in the fold and see how quickly he acclimates to our system and see if we can potentially use him on defense or on defense as a safety.
And the Blackhawks begin a short 2-game road trip tonight in California with the Kings. Puck drop is set for a little later than we're used to at 9:30. That's sports. We'll be right back.
But Mother Nature is not being subtle about moving us into the next season. This is going to be pretty abrupt.
I was trying to think of, kind of an appropriate meme to kind of post, like almost a kind of,
That's how we're going to feel.
It is. It's going to be a shock to the system tomorrow morning when you wake up, especially after a record high temperature today, 70s, and probably a lot of folks in shorts and a t-shirt this afternoon. The winter jacket tomorrow morning. So I know. And we've got a couple of flurries too that'll come down late tomorrow night and through the day on Saturday. So really a transition from summer-like warmth to more winter-like feel in just a short 24 hours. We've got a few showers and a couple of isolated thunderstorms moving into the west of us. Some of those stronger cores may have some winds over about 40 miles per hour, but the biggest impacts of that will be across areas western, central Stevenson County, Joe Daviess County, and then southwest Wisconsin. As that line progresses further to the east, it's mostly light showers. 40 for tomorrow afternoon, staying in the 30s for the weekend.
Thanks, Candace. And thanks for watching. Have a good evening.